Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jay once again. We're continuing on our Python journey with a video on variables. This is a very important concept, so you definitely want to pay special attention to this one, but it's actually really easy, so it's not going to take you very long to learn this, but variables are a very important part of software because you need to take data, store it, and then be able to refer to it later on. And in this video, we're just going to look at the basics of that, and we'll do more advanced variables later, and we'll build them as part of functions and classes and all these different concepts. But in this video, I want to show you how variables work. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so switching the camera here to the terminal, I am already in a Python shell, so you're going to want to go ahead and do that as well. And variables allow us to store information for later use. So in previous videos, we use the print command quite often to print various strings to the output. And what we had to do, though, is we had to retype the message each time. I mean, yeah, we could use the up arrow, and you can see here I can go through all the commands that we've done in the tutorial series so far. So you don't technically need to retype them, but you're not going to be using the Python shell when you actually write programs. We're going to be writing scripts. And we're not going to want to retype in the script every single time we want to refer to a piece of text that we need to display, because in programming, don't repeat yourself. Just do it one time, and if you need to refer back to it, refer back to a variable. So to set up a variable is actually pretty easy. So we've already done the print hello world in a previous video, and as you know, it just simply prints that out. But what I'm going to do is actually create a variable. Now the variable can be named whatever you want it to be named. So I'm going to do my var, short for variable. I'm going to set it equal to with a space in between the equal sign there. And I'm just going to make it equal to hello world. Press enter, nothing happened. Actually, something did happen. What this actually did is it stored that string for later use. Now what I could simply do is type print, and then in the parentheses, my var, just like that. I could press enter, and what it did is it actually grabbed the contents of this variable and printed it here. Now notice the difference if I actually put double quotes here. What's going to happen is it's just going to literally print my var. That's not what we want, so we don't use double quotes here, because if we did, it would just be a string, and it's just going to print whatever we put here in the quotes. So, you know, literally whatever. And that's certainly not what we want in this case. We want to refer back to the variable. So I set the variable by giving it a name, my var, and I set it equal to the string. And then I simply printed it out, and then it just showed me the contents of that variable. Now, I could do the same thing by simply just setting my var to equal to something else. Now it's equal to 2. So what just happened? So if I print my var, it's now 2. And if I do a type on it, so I could simply do type, then the name of the variable, my var, we can see that the variable contains an integer. Now if I was to just simply go back here and basically set my variable back to hello world, then if I do the type again, we see that it's a class string. So I can actually set it to an integer, a string, or any other data type that I want. I could basically store any data I want for future use. And that's great because we want to be able to store things and refer back to them later, because that's the nature of programming, especially with object-oriented programming, which is, you know, what Python allows us to do. This isn't a video on object-oriented programming by any means. That's, you know, a more advanced concept, but, you know, that's something we'll probably get into later. But for right now, we can see that we have different types of data, and we're able to store those in variables for later use. So let's go ahead and just play around with some more variables. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a couple of variables. I'm going to do my var1, and I'm going to set that equal to a string with the word inside of learn. And then I'm going to create another variable, my var2, Linux. Actually, I'm going to say Python. Press enter. So I have two variables. One contains learn, the other contains Python. So what can I do with that? Now, obviously, I could print any one of these variables. As you already know, it's just going to give you the contents of the variable. But what I can also do is add them together. So I could do my var1 plus my var2, press enter, learn Python. Now it puts them together because, it's literally just printing one after another. The plus sign can be confusing because you're not actually adding it. It's not math. It's basically printing one and then printing the other right after, and we get both the contents of both variables all together all at once right there. And that's basically concatenating. That's just printing both exactly as we have it, just combining two strings into one, or side by side as you are seeing here. Now, what we can do to make this look better, of course, is we could just simply recall by pressing the up arrow, the first one we created. We can just add a space by adding it right there. So now my var has a space in it. So if I go ahead and use that same statement again, I press enter. Now it actually shows it properly. So you can see that strings are very literal. They print exactly what you tell them to. It doesn't matter if you have a typo. It's literally going to do what you say, assuming you don't have a syntax error. In this case, you didn't say to include a space, so there was no reason for Python to put a space there. It's going to do what you say, for better or for worse. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen, and let's have some fun. I'm going to shorten the variable names here. I just do var1 equals 10, var2 equals 56. So I have two variables here. So if I do type against any one of them, so var1, it's an integer, but you probably already expected that. So now what happens if we add them together? So if we do var1 plus var2, press enter, we get the actual answer. I mean, it's the same thing as if we did this, 10 plus 56. We get the same answer, but what we did is we put 10 in var1, and then we made var2 equal to 56. So now anytime we refer to, we want to refer to a specific variable that we've already included there, we just refer to it. We can add, we can do whatever we want to do. And in this case, I showed you simple math in a previous video. And in this video, I'm showing you what happens if we make a variable equal to an integer and another variable equal to an integer. And if we add them together, it's, again, the same thing as just typing them out that way in the shell right there. So now you can see that we can even do math, but we can even go one bigger. We could say my result equals, and then we could do var1 plus var2. I'll press enter. Now you can see here, nothing printed on the screen. But if I do a print against my result, we can see that my result is equal to the answer of var1 plus var2. So we can even store the result of some kind of math function from two other variables into its own variable. And then now we can refer to the result right there. And again, for completeness sake, I'll just change print to type. And as you know, it's going to come back as an integer. So at this point, variables can get more advanced than this, but I think this is enough for us for now at this stage in our journey. Go ahead and just practice that a bit. Just make some variables equal to an integer, add them together, make a few that are equal to a string, concatenate those, and print them on the screen. Just practice storing and fetching those, and then you'll be good to go to move on to the next video. And as soon as I have that uploaded, I will see you right there. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. I really appreciate it. If you want to help me out, go ahead and check out my sponsor and my cloud server provider, Linode. Linode now features a new and improved dashboard, their cloud manager, that makes it an absolute breeze to set up your own Linux server. They even have Arch Linux. How cool is that? And of course, they have all the staples such as CentOS, Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, and more. And it's very easy to set up a server near you. In fact, Linode currently has 9 worldwide data centers, with 2 more set to appear this year in India and Canada. So definitely check them out, guys. I appreciate them as a sponsor. I appreciate you guys as a viewer. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe to my channel. I will have more content coming for you very soon. Stay tuned.